ever getting a landscape?
What's up? Oh, the
Ever-
landscape.
Bro.
I gotta just send Peyton another video or something. I just haven't done it yet. Straight up. We'll fix it eventually. Anyway, welcome back to This Week in Baseball, brought to you by Diamond Digest. This is episode 6 in our third season of this podcast. Joining me today are Sam and Joseph. How are we doing today?
Good.
Really good.
Good to hear. It's always good to be good. We didn't do one of these last week. We took a week off for the holiday weekend, but we are back, and we'll be back hopefully every week moving forward. But as always, we'll start this episode with a little bit of a standings update. So we'll start in the American League out east. The New York Yankees are leading the AL East. The Minnesota Twins are leading the AL Central, and the Houston Astros lead the AL West. I did not look at the Wildcard Teams before we started, and I don't want to guess off the top of my head because I don't remember them that well. In the NL East, we have the New York Mets leading that division. The NL Central, it is the Milwaukee Brewers, and the NL West, we have the Dodgers. So it's backwards on the screen, so that looked dumb. I just hate the Dodgers, as you all know. Fair enough. Anyway,
how about the Yankees and the Mets?
Yeah, Yankees and Mets are looking real good right now. Both those teams comfortable leads in those division, I believe, for both of them, which is kind of shocking considering how at least the AL East has so many quality teams in it.
Yeah, and you expect Atlanta to be good in the NL East too.
Yeah, exactly.
They did this last year.
That's also true.
Mm-hmm.
They'll get
Atlanta
10 and 10 at the deadline and then win a bunch.
That was an incredible.
They climbed to
deadline.
500 today. It was, last year for them. Insane. But I guess I can look at the wildcard teams real quick.
Luis Guillorme might be the greatest utility player of all time.
He's been pretty solid. Remember when he shaved his beard? Because that was freaky. Didn't like
anyone shaving their beard. It just looks wrong.
That's true.
All right, podcast razor.
Yeah, but anyway, I guess the NL wildcard teams would be San Diego, St. Louis, and San Francisco. AL, Toronto, Tampa, and the Angels. So it didn't take that much to look up. I didn't have to guess, but yeah, these are teams you kind of expected to kind of be around, hanging around. But like I said, I think the biggest shocker standing wise, at least to me, is the fact that the Mets have an 8.5 game lead, and then you have the Yankees with a 7.5 game lead.
Yeah,
and what's crazy is Toronto's in second in that division with a 31-22 record, which is really good. The Yankees are just 39-15.
The thing is, with the wild card series, how much of a detriment is it to not be winning your division with a good record?
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but don't you play all 3 games on the road if you're the wild card team?
That's true.
And depending on where you go, if you're going in the Bronx, I do not want to play.
It still doesn't register in my mind that Toronto plays home games, like real life home games.
Well, they always play home games, but they're playing in Toronto. That's the crazy
because
part.
Last year, had they played 3 away games, who cares?
Yeah, I mean, well, at least especially for Toronto, home games in Toronto are a huge advantage now for them, considering every team that goes to Toronto. If you're an unvaccinated player, you can't play in Toronto.
Yeah,
so
that would be a massive
teams
benefit.
Yeah, exactly. So that's a lot of incentive to win that division and get as many home games as possible.
But the Yankees won't lose.
Yeah, which is the tough part because the Yankees deserve nothing that is good ever. But the Yankees, well, go for it.
I have a hard time hating the Yankees that much.
Why?
Because
you shouldn't.
Because the last time they won a World Series, I was a grand total of 3 years old. They've just been bad. They have not won anything.
I don't think they've been bad. I think they've just choked it a lot.
They they just keep choking. And I don't remember them being like this juggernaut. So why am I supposed to be like, oh, I hate the Yankees?
I mostly hate them because they still have very racist policies in place, weighing the hair and facial hair policies.
Yeah,
that's a big reason why I still hate them.
Yeah,
like that's most of the reason.
I didn't think they had like hair policy. I thought it was just the no facial hair policy.
Yeah, they have hair policies too, where it can be below the shoulders, I believe, something like that.
Yeah, as I say, the Simpsons lampooned that famously with Don Mattingly in the Homer at Bat episode. So.
Although Ken Griffey Jr.'s hatred of them kind of makes me hate them, but
yeah. Well, that's another thing. Like he hates them because they are famously anti they're very racist policies, and they have a reputation of those kind of things.
I thought it was because they didn't let him do stuff when his dad was on the team, and he was 12 or whatever.
I was gonna say the story from what I remember goes that all the kids were running around in the clubhouse, and they singled out Griffey specifically instead of any other of the players' kids.
You have to wonder why. It's not that hard to wonder.
Josh Donaldson fits right in, is all I'm saying.
Anyway, not to bash on most of current whatever Yankees. This is a big reason why I historically don't like the Yankees. Plus, the facial hair policy is stupid. The hair policy is stupid. It's dumb. It's time to grow up. The Yankees fans are also obnoxious. Most of them.
Yeah, I hate Yankees fans.
90% of Yankees Twitter is obnoxious. I have two things muted on Twitter. It's the word Yankees and Chad Pinder. That's all I have muted on Twitter.
I wonder why you have Chad Pinder muted.
It's all because of Jenny.
I know.
That's the only reason.
I know.
But anyway, enough about the Yankees. I guess we're going to go back to talking about the Yankees. I guess we'll just start with the Yankees have been really hot. We know that. The Twins have also been super hot this week. And those teams are going to be matching up this week. And that's kind of crazy because they've both been absurdly good as of late anyway. How do you guys think that series goes? I think it's a 3-game. Let me double check that real quick. But with two teams that are basically the hottest teams in baseball at the moment, matching up, how's that play out in your guys' head?
The one thing I'm looking for specifically is I saw a stat the Twins are far and away the leading team in taking first pitches, and they always get 1-0 counts. And the incredible run and form that the Yankee starters have been on recently, do you go after these Twins hitters and get that 0-1 advantage, or do you still kind of try and pitch around and hope that's what they're expecting us to do? Let's try and get away with a couple.
I mean, the Twins' offense isn't really one guy. It's very all around.
Yep.
So I think it's playing the percentages. It's not a huge disadvantage to pitch to any one of them except to maybe Buxton.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I think generally
he comes back in time, or
I think it goes 2 Yankees, 1 Twins.
That. Yeah, I could honestly, you can give me any outcome, and I'd be yeah, that makes sense. 2-1 Yankees, 2-1 Twins, a sweep, a Yankees sweep of the Twins. I'd be yeah, that tracks.
Also,
I see that
we
for
need
sure.
Kyle Garlick to get way more at bats.
Cool name,
dude. When Kyle Garlick made his debut, we were freaking out because he grew up down the road from us, and we're oh my god.
Nice. Also, just a cool baseball name. That's just a cool baseball name.
Yeah, that's an old
Kyle
school tiny name is Kyle Garlick.
Yeah, that's just awesome. I like that a lot.
It's
for no reason.
They also have Sonny Gray on the same team.
Yeah, they also have Joe Ryan. So
I don't trust the 2 first name guys.
You can never trust the 2 first name anybody.
Never trust the 2 first name guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Nick Gordon, not good.
That's a shame.
I mean, he's not bad.
No, it's just he has 2 first names, so I don't like him.
Yeah, I know what you meant, but
yeah.
Anyway, moving on. We'll stop talking about the Yankees for now. Actually, no, we won't. Let's talk about Judge really quick. I want to get over the Yankees here. Aaron Judge.
Statistically, it's what the people want.
I know, but that's the worst. I hate them. Anyway, Aaron Judge, who I don't hate as much. I like Aaron Judge. He grew up in my area. Aaron Judge was the first hitter to 20 home runs this year. And right now he's sitting at 21, leading the pack by 5 home runs to the next closest there's 3 guys with 16. But he's got a 5 home run lead in the home run race right now, which is kind of crazy. Like he's been a large part of the Yankees' success has been on Judge's insane offensive output. Like, what do you think Judge can keep up this pace?
I honestly think this just puts all the rumors of Judge peaked as a rookie away. Because everyone's like, oh, Judge peaked when he was 25 and a rookie. I'm like, okay, he's doing better now.
He had that great 2021. He was healthy, had a great season. It wasn't the highs of his 2017, but he was still really, really good.
Yeah, but like
this is a whole nother level.
The haters could still say, "Oh, Aaron Judge is washed. He'll never be like that. Be that like top tier, one of the best hitters in baseball again." Yeah. He is that guy now,
Wrong.
and I think that he's probably going to get $200 to $300 million this offseason.
If he keeps this up and hits that 63 home run projection he's on right now, 300 easily.
63 home, like that's just insane. Like that's
the Yankees will pay him
so much,
whatever he wants.
Yeah, they might have to blank check him, and like, which is cool because he bet on himself this offseason. Like, and boy, was that the right bet to take.
Yeah,
like he's
it's
just
a souped up Josh Donaldson approach.
Something along those lines. But with Judge being so good, I kind of want to talk about the MVP race in both leagues as well. With the AL, I think there's a couple guys that we've seen so far that have been really good, but you doubt they keep up that pace. Those guys being Ty France and Taylor Ward. And then you've got a couple guys who've been doing it, will continue to do it in Trout and J-Ram, and then Judge also being just how good he's been and living up to that potential. Like, so if the season, not at the end of today, but say like things play out like relatively normally for the rest of the year, who do you think takes that
if Judge hits 62, he gets it.
Judge has to have like a huge come down to lose it. And it's a long season, so he's going to hit that slump. But I don't see a scenario where Judge loses it at this point.
I mean, J-Ram could go on a hot streak.
Yeah.
J-Ram will go on a hot streak. J-Ram is so good.
Perpetual hot streak.
I think if the Angels didn't drop 10 straight while Trout's going through this 0 for 23 and Ward continues to be this amazing hitter, I think you have an argument for Taylor Ward.
I think you
it's just this 10-game losing streak has really kind of put a hindrance on that argument for him being MVP.
I think why would a baseball MVP have that much to do with team success? Taylor Ward is really good.
He is really good.
But all the old heads who vote for this award want team success too.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
There's a reason it's the narrative too of like Ohtani struggling, Trout struggling, Taylor Ward swinging a hot bat, and he's carrying this team to victories. That's a great narrative, and that's kind of what you look for sometimes in the MVP voting.
I mean, what's the narrative? And I guess Judge has a really good narrative of he's leading the Yankees to this historic campaign.
Right.
After betting on himself.
Like, that's a great narrative.
Goes crazy.
But, like, the Indians are in second place, right? Well, the Guardians are in second place right now. And if they can somehow snatch that third wild card spot, you have a similar narrative with Ramirez.
Yeah, I mean, all it's going to take is, at least right now, it's looking like all it's going to take is 500 to get that third wild card spot in either league.
Because the Blue Jays and the Rays get theirs. The Blue Jays and Rays will get 2. And then 3 goes to whoever has.
Yeah. Right. In the NL, you think it's the Padres and the Giants get theirs. And it's probably the Cardinals.
Giants, Padres, Cardinals. Braves might make a run as they
Braves are going to turn around at some point. There's too much talent on the roster for them not to turn it around.
Right, which is fair. You think one of the Cardinals or Giants are probably going to drop a bit. Like the Giants have been insanely cold the last couple of weeks. Still sitting at 5 games over 500.
I think this is the low for the Giants. I think.
Yeah.
I hope so.
I think they'll win.
I think so too. But...
I think they'll win 88 to 90 games with relative ease.
Yeah. I think that's
players are going to come back. they're going to get healthy, and then it's going to get real annoying, and that division race is going to tighten up real quick.
Yeah, the NL West is the best division in baseball right now. Like that's like without
NL
question.
best.
Top to bottom, like that is the fact that like we talked about this earlier in the season. Like every team in that division was over 500, like well into May, which is insane. Like 40, like 50 games into the season, they were all above 500, and it wasn't until the Rockies have struggled a bit recently where like that's not really going to happen anymore. The Diamondbacks are still hovering around 500. They're 26-28.
Also, CJ Cron is still so good.
CJ Cron's awesome. I love CJ Cron.
I'm glad for him, you know what I mean?
And
but
Chad
you can always just hear that Coors argument over and over and over again.
Also, I love that the guy whose name is Chad Cool is carrying the rotation.
He's also
got the best run value in baseball. Like, how do you do that?
That's a Hall of Fame name.
Of course. Chad Cool, Hall of Fame name. But yeah, I mean, I guess while we're still in the NL real quick, we'll talk about that MVP race real quick, which is a lot less crowded in the AL because you've really got three guys right now. That's Betts, Machado, Goldschmidt. That's really it right now.
The Machado narrative is going to go crazy.
Yeah, I think right now it's
Machado as my preseason MVP pick is because I'm like the narrative without Tatis, and then he underperformed a lot of the expected numbers. He's going off. It's exactly the way I thought he was going to be playing this year. I hate it, but
I picked Acuna.
Thing is, like, you can make the narrative. Oh yeah, the Padres fell apart last year, but then Machado brought them back to the playoffs. But then, yeah, the Dodgers are going to win 100 games with or without Mookie Betts.
Yeah, reasonable. So
who cares?
I like Machado a lot for that pick. Goldschmidt has been insanely productive, but I think he will hit like a cold spell at some point.
Those first basemen, first basemen should not win MVP unless they're putting up like a ridiculous amount of, like unless their OPS plus is north of 160 or 170.
And that's the hard thing about first baseman. Is like you really have to have that.
Like
good
the last
season.
First baseman who I think should have won it was Votto in 2017.
Yeah,
and that's because he hit 400 in the second half.
I was fine with the shortened season and first baseman MVPs because it was a shortened season.
Oh yeah,
that was fine. But outside of that, you really have to have like a truly
defense is a cumulative thing.
Yeah, right. And like it's easy. Like so after. Okay, I'll say this. Brandon Belt's the best defensive first baseman in baseball. I will not let anyone tell me otherwise because it's true.
I think Keith Hernandez still probably has one up on him, even though he's like 60.
You know? But after watching not Brandon Belt play first base for the last couple weeks, like, man, you miss, like, good defensive first base.
What do you mean?
Play.
Darren Ruff is the greatest first baseman of all time.
He plays more in left than anything.
Why? Why?
Like, I don't know.
He is a wooden pole.
Underrated, but it's still not like a huge component of like a successful ball club.
Right. Yeah, exactly. But like it's also
I think it totally is.
I mean it is, but it also isn't. As someone who's currently watching my team every day play without one of, if not the best defensive first baseman in baseball, like you can tell. Like I have a little more anxiety every time the ball goes to first because like when Belt's there, I'm like, okay, yeah, Belt seldom makes an error, but Flores or Ruff or whoever they put at first is much more likely to do it. I'm never worried about it with Belt.
I mean, like I've had Joey Votto at first for 15 years.
So yeah, so you haven't had to worry.
You don't have to worry about the Reds, about our first baseman missing a somewhat difficult throw to first.
Yeah.
Like,
and then I know like Joseph now with Freeman. Freeman's a good defensive first baseman. Like
he's a good defensive first baseman. Not if you ask my dad. He doesn't like Freeman's defensive first baseman. I'm like, no, he's a good defensive first baseman.
It's been a little rough as of late. Like I'll give your dad that much, but overall, he's a good defensive first baseman.
You figure it out eventually. You go through defensive slumps as much as you go through offensive slumps. But you're thankful for a good defensive first baseman when a lefty just hits a line drive down the line and they smother it or they stop it.
Like, that's what I'm saying.
That's when you're thankful for your first baseman having good defense.
Yeah, but
Right,
like
exactly.
I do think that like the Cardinals wouldn't be winning this much if defense wasn't a super big part of baseball. Like,
no, you're absolutely right. I'm a big defender of defense in baseball mattering.
Yeah.
That's why, like, I mean, I watch Brandon Crawford play shortstop every day. Like, one of, if also not the best defensive shortstops in baseball. Like, he has been for the last 10, 15 years. Not 15. It hasn't been like that long. But like,
yeah, he has not been that around for that
10
long.
years.
last 10 years.
Was
Haunts
he,
my
was he even
dreams.
around in 2010?
No.
I remember watching.
He called up in 2011.
Yeah, I watched him in the 2012 series and 2014.
Right, yeah. But defense is huge. That's why the Cardinals are so successful. Because like if the Cardinals even have like a league average defense, I think they have 5 less wins this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
There's a
hard to
reason
quantify good defense. You know what I mean?
Right. Until you see it all together. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, there's a reason why they bring out Harrison Bader every day.
Kevin Kiermaier still has a regular job. You know, I mean,
Right.
for the longest time.
It's the reason why Manuel Margot is still around.
Yeah. So defense is super important. I didn't expect to talk this long about defense, but like I do love watching good defensive baseball. I think it's super important. I've always thought it's super important. Offense does matter a little bit more, I think, most of the time, but not all the time.
It's like a 60-40 split.
I think that's a good description.
Yeah.
That's why the Phillies are so bad.
Yeah, that's one reason the Phillies are so bad. Like, speaking of the Phillies being bad, give me a perfect segue.
Segues.
Joe Girardi getting fired this week.
Wow, I did not think they'd fire him that fast.
Neither did I. I thought they were going to give him like at least till the All-Star break.
Who could fix that team?
Gabe Kapler, Craig Counsell, Kevin Cash is not fixing that team.
Gabe Kapler's not a good manager.
Is not fixing that team.
Gabe Kapler is carried by Giants GM McGee. Don't know his name. Farhan Zaidi.
Zaidi is the only reason.
Brains of those Dodgers teams, apparently. Who knew?
Yeah.
Farhan Zaidi is awesome. Gabe Kapler's not good.
Managing can't fix that team.
Right.
Dave Dombrowski acting like it's 2002 again.
Right. And then we'll see if they do anything to fix that team in the offseason. I don't think they will. I think they're kind of stuck with that hope ball go far and everyone strikes out on the other team.
I could see, because I think Dombrowski knows what the issue is at this point.
Yeah.
But I think he's going to wait till the deadline, and that'll kill the team.
Maybe. Like, Dombrowski's a good GM, too, is the thing. Like,
yeah.
I mean, there's a reason he didn't win in Detroit. He played Cabrera at third base in the 1 year they had a chance.
Yeah. He has his downfalls, but, like, overall, if David Dombrowski is the GM of your team, you're not, like, upset.
Like, he's really good at coaxing billionaires into spending money.
Yeah.
I mean, the Phillies are not going to make the playoffs, but they are going to be fun to watch regardless.
I mean, as someone who's watched a lot more of the Phillies on Sunday Night Baseball than I would like to have, they're a little rough to watch sometimes. When they're bad, they are so tough to watch. But when they're good, they're fun to watch.
Yeah.
But I do think that the Phillies, like, at some point in September, are going to ruin someone's playoff chances, and it's going to be really.
Oh, absolutely!
Fun. They're a perfect spoiler.
Absolutely, yeah. The Phillies have all the makings to be a September spoiler.
It's going to be the Mets that fall victim to it.
Okay, the Mets are going to clinch on like the 10th of September. If they
can still Mets it up, it's the Mets. Like,
how? I don't think they can Mets it up.
Not getting his pitching hand by the dog. And it's a bigger deal than I think.
Also, remember when everyone clowned on the Buck Showalter hire?
Yeah, I did.
I thought it was a decent hire. I never loved it, but like it's proven to be a pretty good hire.
God. I mean, it's a good hire because I think it's like hiring Dusty Baker.
Dusty Baker's so good at his job. I love Dusty Baker.
Yeah, sure. He's not going to make the most
Baker?
sabermetrically informed decision, but everyone's happy.
He knows ball.
Buck Showalter knows ball.
True. Exactly. But yeah,
Joe
I mean,
Girardi clearly doesn't.
yeah, I don't know if Girardi ends up catching on somewhere else at this point. He might, but I have a hard time figuring out who.
I think he could like do a Ron Washington third base coach. Everyone loves him when he's like 75 kind of deal.
I think
Ron
if
Washington
you have a
also-
young core, you need to build up good culture. I think you get Girardi. That's the only way I can see him getting another managerial job.
But where? A lot of those teams have their guy. Like Miami's got Mattingly. Detroit's got
Hinch.
Let me think. Who else? Who
Who's
else
in
is like?
Pittsburgh?
Are those teams?
I mean, I think that
that's not Clint Hurdle anymore.
Girardi would have been a much better hire than Tony La Russa.
Tony La Russa was the worst hire of any ever.
That was.
I hope La Russa gets fired soon. With the way that team's been playing, it would be justified at this point.
I was going to say, it should have been La Russa instead of Girardi that got fired.
Absolutely. You're 100% correct.
Like, I hate Tony La Russa.
What?
Like, why? Why would you hire a geriatric old man?
Because of the
No one
name.
knows.
You picked
I remember.
Who's going out to the ballpark to see their favorite manager?
I am.
To be fair, I did go. I was excited to see Bruce Bochy a few times when I.
Okay, but he has the pedigree of having been with the same franchise for over a decade.
That's also
You don't
true.
hire a big name manager and get excited, and the fans don't get excited for him.
I got excited for Joe Torre back in the day when he came to Los Angeles.
That's reasonable.
That was a mistake.
Well,
But like no, with the with La Russa, if anyone listening is so inclined to go back and listen to our This Week in Baseball, we did one in the off season, like right after La Russa got hired, and it was me, Scott, and Laz were all on it, and we just clowned on Laz for a solid 20 minutes for the hire. And Laz went off. He was mad.
I think maybe the
Understandably so.
A's could use Joe Girardi.
Yeah, the A's might be a good fit, but they just got.
Speaking of Bob Melvin, let's talk about those Padres. They're on the upswing.
Yeah, we can talk about the Padres here a little bit. They've been playing really good ball. They released Robinson Cano this week.
It was worth a shot.
It was worth a chance. Like, you're right. Like, and apparently, for all I've seen on Twitter, brought a fantastic presence to that clubhouse while he was there, which, I mean, not overly shocked by. That good veteran presence. It might have been enough.
For baseball.
Yeah. As a Giants fan, I agree. But it was good for the team as a whole. And that team, again, has just been flat out good this year. They're doing all this without Tatis.
Eric Hosmer's still good.
Yeah. He's cooled down, but he's better than expected.
Yeah, anything really above 0 WAR would have been better than expected.
He has an OPS plus of 129. He's hitting.
Yeah, he's hitting well.
Like,
which is kind of weird.
He's not trying to hit the ball in the air anymore. Like, I saw really good. I saw something that was like, yeah, Eric Hosmer was trying to hit the ball in the air, and then he was just hitting pop flies, and then
it's such a weird swing to try and get the ball in the air, anyways. You know what I mean?
Right. It feels unnatural for most guys.
Again, MVP when they banned the shift.
Yeah, when they banned the shift, Eric Hosmer stuck. Sky.
That's going to be the best
drafting
him
in fantasy.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Are they banning it next year or 24?
I think it's next
24.
year, right?
Okay, next year,
24?
Hosmer with like an 8th round pick. He'll be the star of my fantasy team.
Honestly, but like, yeah, it's just a good team, and then they'll get Tatis back, I think, relatively soon.
I think like they said late June, early July at the.
That's what I thought. So like, let me look that up real quick. I thought it was late June as well was the timeline. Oh,
because I haven't heard anything about Tatis recently.
Neither have I. Granted, I don't like spend a ton of my time looking into like the Padres, but I do its due diligence as like any like rival.
Also, Joe Musgrove might win the Cy Young Award.
Joe Musgrove's been kind of crazy.
It's a contract year for him too.
Yeah.
Like, Like, if he keeps it under 2, he's going to get paid.
I miss when Rodon was the front runner for the Cy Young. But
Yeah, speaking of the wild card series and where the
thank
Padres
God
are
we
right
can
now,
talk about Rodon
Musgrove-
freely without a Laz rant.
true. Yeah, what were you saying, Joseph?
All right, speaking of like the wild card series where the Padres are right now, even if you have to go on the road, like even to like a St. Louis, a Milwaukee, I'm still taking the Padres with Musgrove and Mackenzie Gore pitching 2 games.
Mackenzie Gore's been absolutely everything he was supposed to be.
He's electric.
He's been fun
insane.
to watch.
I think he's had 10 strikeouts twice already.
Okay, and he has a 1.5 ERA.
8 starts. Yeah, and like 8 starts.
Arguably
Like,
the
Mackenzie
best
Gore.
fastball right now. If you look at run value, that fastball is great.
Yeah, it's almost crazy
Like-
to think like that these teams like the rich are getting richer kind of thing.
Smart
But
teams
that feels
get
like
good
most of
players.
baseball. Right. And Mackenzie Gore, we waited so long for him. Like he should have been up realistically at any other team. He's up 2 years earlier.
Mhm.
Like,
And they made the right call by waiting.
yeah, exactly. That's the
Calling
thing.
up a guy at 23 is not the worst thing in the world.
Yeah.
Right. But like that's what I'm saying. Like everyone's like, why is Gore not up yet? Like when they waited, and then it's paying off big time.
I mean, yeah, because when your player development's that great, let him stay in the player development until he's.
I mean, they
maybe-
didn't develop Paddock, right?
I thought
Something
he was
happened
a
to
Rule
Paddock because he had that
5.
great rookie year, and then he just fell off after that.
He came off Tommy John, and I think he had a
Oh, did he?
really good year, and then
And I just forget. Am I making fun of Paddock for no reason?
Chris Paddock
fine,
was
yeah.
kind of an afterthought after 2019.
Yeah, he hasn't been good. He's been. I mean, I think he got Tom. Doesn't he? Had
He's on the
Tommy John
Twins,
again?
I think.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
with the
he-
Twins.
Didn't he need Tommy John again?
Yeah.
Yeah, he underwent Tommy John 2 weeks ago. Which is unfortunate. We never want Tommy John for any pitcher.
Yeah, you never want Tommy John. Speaking of Tommy John, he should be a Hall of Fame baseball guy.
Oh, I thought you were gonna like find a way to transition to something else we were planning on talking about. I'm like, what? Like I don't know.
I don't know. I
how
thought
that-
I thought I was going to talk. I saw.
unless you want to
Bryce
talk about
Harper-
Kumar Rocker.
Wait, Kumar Rocker. What a great
There you go.
idea.
Yeah, Kumar Rocker. He's
Okay.
like lighting up his the indie ball. He hit 99 this last week, which is really the big report from him.
Yeah.
What a shocking turn of events. Who could have ever seen this coming?
Yeah, because
Not the
when
Mets.
I was watching Rocker in the College World Series a couple years ago, and like in the big situations is when he turned it up.
Yeah, like
He's
I
so
don't
good.
understand. Yeah,
What? The Mets
I
biffed it.
I think so too. I genuinely think the Mets biffed it as well.
Watch them draft him again.
I would laugh so hard if they draft him again with
And then
the
he would
same
just-
like the compensatory pick they got for him.
Yeah.
That's so Mets.
Because, like, teams are going to be scared to draft him.
I don't think so. They'll be
'Cause, like, he's not
hesitant,
going-
but not scared.
He's not
Yeah.
going at 10 again. He'll go lower.
Mhm.
Yeah,
'Cause
he'll go.
That was
lower
peak
for
Kumar
sure.
hype when he went 10.
Yeah.
I think he'll go
Yeah.
I think the scary thing is that he's going to a contending team in the late first round, probably.
I want Kumar to fall to the Giants so badly.
Yeah, I was gonna say if he went to like the Giants, the Guardians, the Dodgers, one of those teams
It's
that are
over.
pitching really well.
Yeah,
Sky's the
I
limit.
think-
Imagine Kumar with Burns and Woodruff.
Oh no.
Imagine
no.
Kumar with like McCallahan and Baz.
Speaking of
Like,
Shane
Don't
Baz,
put that in the world. Don't put that in the world.
That'd be
Uh,
fun to
I-
watch. I would
It would
love
be
to
fun,
watch.
but I don't want to face
this
that.
is your,
like,
this is your
in a
daily
As a
reminder
baseball
that
fan, that'd
Shane
be
Baz
exciting.
was a player to be named later in the Chris Archer deal.
Yep.
That deal just keeps getting better.
Oh yeah, that Chris Archer man, what a biff for Pittsburgh.
They could be in playoff contention right now, to be honestly.
Yeah, the Pittsburgh, unless they're playing Milwaukee, they're like above 500.
Or the Dodgers.
I mean,
What do you
no,
mean?
they're 0-6 against Milwaukee. They swept the Dodgers.
Remember,
they took 5 of 6 in the season.
remember, and then
I believe, right?
Brian Hayes reminding everyone why he's so good.
When they call up O'Neal Cruz when his defense is fixed, but
I mean, why not just slap him at first base? Yoshi Tsutsugo's bad.
Yeah.
Well, Tsutsugo's
I guess
bad.
Michael
like
Chavis maybe.
That team, if this offseason they make a few moves, that can be a well above 500 team next year.
Mm-hmm.
They could challenge for that
crazy to
third
think about.
spot, they could challenge for the 6th seed.
No, absolutely. Like that team
Also,
can be good.
Jose Quintana has been insane.
Yeah,
He's always had the talent.
Yeah.
I mean, he's 33. I thought everyone thought he was washed.
It's that like weird Francisco Liriano thing all over again with the Pirates. Yeah. We should have seen this coming. I don't know why we didn't at this point. Because it happens like every few years is some washed pitcher comes to the Pirates and then they start pitching like an ace again. It's incredible.
Yeah. What was that, 2019?
Something
the trade? Or when he was like last a really good pitcher?
When like his last year before retiring when he was with the Pirates.
I don't know off the top of my head.
Neither do I. But
like those mid.
Speaking of, I had a transition. No, keep going.
Like
no, keep going. So finish your thought.
Those mid 2010s Liriano seasons were legitimately really good.
Yeah.
I mean, like a lot of these guys have like a few good years and then they take like a big drop off. You know.
Speaking of recently retired players, let's talk about Russell Martin's retirement.
That's not the transition I wanted. But that works. That's the work. Yeah, Russell Martin officially retired this week, which he's been out of the league for 4 years already. He's Hall of Fame eligible next year. Like,
let the man in.
Maybe 1 more year.
You should get
Russell Martin's a Hall of Famer. Like straight up. This is a narrative that I don't know about many, but several Diamond Digers employees hold.
If Yachty's a Hall of Famer, so is Russell Martin.
That's the big point a lot of people make. But those two are Hall of Famers independently. But the thing is, like, if Yadier Molina is someone you're like, oh, that's definitely a Hall of Famer. Why is Russell Martin not a Hall of Famer? Like, if that's like a standard you're setting, like, yeah,
catchers are so notoriously ripped off by the committee.
Right.
I think it's hard to articulate catcher value.
Yeah,
but like everywhere he went, he played a huge impact on those teams, and a lot of those teams made the playoffs with him. Pittsburgh, Toronto, LA,
no coincidence
the Yankees.
The 2013 Pirates had Russell Martin.
Yeah, you hit that famous
2016 Blue Jays had him.
Right. Yeah, Russell Martin is a career 55 F4 player.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
for a guy that
very good.
That was offensively.
511 overall pick in the.
But did he hit the 2,000 hits though?
Yeah. Where does he rank amongst catchers though?
And F4?
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure. Probably pretty decently high, I'd imagine. Let me see. Oh man, I might not know this website. I don't use Fangraphs ever.
I actually did apply to Fangraphs.
I think we all did at some point.
Yeah. Well, like most recently.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I'm looking up a career catcher F4. I mean, Russell Martin, just good baseball player for a very long time. He knows ball. When
do the Pirates hire him as their next manager?
Oh no, he would be a great manager.
Russell
Martin would be a fantastic manager.
In the vein of like great former catcher managers.
Like Yadi Molina, I would not be surprised if he gets hired the second he retires as a manager.
Right.
Oh, he's going to stay in house with St. Louis in some capacity for sure.
Is their manager in good standing?
I mean, they had those incredible runs. Like no one thought they were making the playoffs in 2020 and 2020, especially 2021. And I mean, I think
as someone who talks to Carson every week about it always comes up. Russell Martin, he heavily believes that Russell Martin is going to be a coach at some capacity with the Cardinals next year after he retires. So I have no
Yachty, not Russell Martin, right?
Yeah, Yachty.
Yeah, I was gonna say he doesn't
So,
have
I
any
thought we were
ties
talking
to St. Louis.
Yeah, but no, Russell Martin. He'll be. I hope he becomes a manager one day because I think he'd be a very good one.
Yeah.
But like I said, 55 career F4 is a Hall of Famer. But just want to shout out Russell Martin. He knows ball. He's good.
Super underrated.
Get him in the Hall of Fame. Shout out Canada legend Russell Martin. He's Canadian.
Canadians are
But,
taking over, man.
Speaking of Canadians, let's talk about Joey Votto.
We have nothing to say about Joey Votto. Is he back yet? Is he still hurt?
No, he hit a home run very recently.
Oh, nice.
And he still bangs.
It's like
That's all I have to say.
Joey Votto still bangs. That is true.
I
Doesn't
feel
pop out.
Yeah,
And-
I think he
but no,
popped out
seriously.
recently, and someone like freaked out about it.
But seriously, talking about Reds and former Reds, Eugenio Suarez and Jesse Winker are kind of doing the opposite of what I thought they'd do.
What do you think they're going to do?
I thought Winker was going to pop off and Suarez was going to suck. But
I
like,
thought everyone thought it was gonna happen.
but Eugenio Suarez has been crushing
Good.
baseballs, and Jesse Winker hasn't been that good.
Winker will figure it out in Seattle.
He will.
Suarez, I've always believed in Suarez. I've always liked Suarez a lot. But I didn't think he was gonna get like this hot. Like he's been really good.
Like he's good.
He's good. It's just I didn't think like he was gonna find the form he did again. But this is the Mariners, the land of backwards. They're good when you think
Right.
they're bad. They're bad when you think they're good.
And when do we give up on Jared Kelenic?
I mean, he's back in AAA.
Yeah, that outfield is too crowded. He needs a change of scenery.
Yeah,
I think
he
someone
There's
will
nowhere to
fix
put him.
Someone will give him money. Not money. Someone will give him a good prospect for him.
No, absolutely, and he deservedly should go for a pretty decent prospect. Like Kelenic, he will figure it out. At least I hope he does. There's no reason to believe he won't.
But then Julio Rodriguez is playing very well. Rookie of the Year
And
candidate.
AL Rookie of the Month last month, along with Luis Gonzalez of the Giants. Who also,
I have not heard of
baseball's
Luis
very
Gonzalez.
you shouldn't have. Like he was not much of a prospect coming up, but he's been really, really good this year. I think he's hitting
One
like
of those
340.
Farhan finds.
Yep, 100%.
Oh wow,
I
yeah,
think
he's raking.
He might have actually been picked up from Cincinnati, if I remember
It
correctly.
was the White Sox.
Okay, I don't know who I'm thinking of then. But yeah, he's good. Another Farhan find, like Joseph said. Like
Farhan finds.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what it is. Like, half our team is these Farhan finds that like end up playing really well and play every day. That's why we have
Lamont
Tyro
Ray
Estrada,
Jr.
Aaron Ruff.
But I have been following the
Lamont.
Evan Longoria saga very closely. Because
Like
I want him to make the Hall of Fame so bad. But he
I have
just
always
needs...
had a soft spot for Evan Longoria.
I
Broke
think
my heart
everyone
when he went to
does.
San Francisco. Because now I'm like, I have to hate you, but deep down I still respect you as a player, and you
That's
are
what-
a really, really
That
good
was
player.
what happened to me with who was it?
Yeah.
Shoot. It was I think it was Johnny Cueto heading to the Giants.
Not Kansas City?
Well, no, because remember, it was like the reverse sweep in the 2012 NLDS that I'm still
Oh.
salty about 10 years later. Because I was thinking Cueto got, and like Cueto pitched really well in that series, and then he lost. Now, speaking of Johnny Cueto, he's actually been playing very well.
Yeah, Cueto's been really good in Chicago. He's been so good, in fact, that they have no more need for Dallas Keuchel, who was DFA in the last couple weeks here.
I will always root for Johnny Cueto's success, just not his team's.
Right, yeah. Johnny Cueto's that's reasonable. I understand. But Johnny Cueto is just good for baseball. He's fun.
He's a fun guy, and why did the Giants let him leave?
You can't hate Johnny Cueto. I mean, you can. I get why people do.
I didn't say I know a couple people
He's
who
fun.
do not like Johnny Cueto.
Like, the guy's not a Hall of Famer, but like, he's been so good for so long.
No.
He's all very good.
Like,
You know
he's
what I
only
mean?
has
Yeah.
34 R WAR. He's not that good. But
No. no one's gonna argue he's a Hall of Famer.
But
He's
like,
fun.
he's like, I feel like if he won a lot of rings, he'd be in that Jack Morris camp of, yeah, sure, Veterans Committee will put him in.
I think does he have one?
He has a ring with the Royals.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I think he has the one with the Royals. I couldn't
Should
remember
have had the
what year he was
2012
the
ring
Royals.
with the Reds, but we all know what happened there.
You're welcome.
Buster Posey.
Anyway.
Don't forgive him.
Buster Posey happened. Yeah. I mean, I don't blame
you, but I respect you guys for me.
Posey.
Yeah.
I love, I hated Posey his entire career because of that. But I was still sad when he retired.
It was so unexpected too.
Like, why did he leave? He was so good.
Because his like legs were just like giving out on him. His knees were bad.
I thought it was because like one of his investments paid off or something.
I mean,
and he got paid big time.
I mean, not really, but that like his knees were like he was saying how like at the end of like the year and all that, his like retirement, like all that jazz. He was like, it was just like every day was getting like kind of tough to play, like to catch every day, and he didn't want to move to first base full time.
He didn't want to. He would rather retire than play first base.
Well, it's not that; it's the fact that like
Brandon Belt.
He knew. Well, yeah, that too. Like he knew that his best output was behind the dish, and he didn't want to like take away from someone else's best output at first. Pretty much is what it was. Plus that, and he has kids. He wanted to be a dad. He just adopted 2 kids a couple years ago.
That's nice.
Yeah, he's a good dude deep down. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's a fantastic human.
It's like how Tom Brady retired to be with his kids, then realized he hated it, then came back.
Yeah, Posey doesn't hate his kids. So I will go on record saying Buster Posey does not hate his children.
What?
Yeah.
I just thought that saga was really funny.
It was. That's why. But anyway, speaking of, this has nothing to do with that saga, but just I guess speaking of like big kind of these bigger names getting paid, Yordan Alvarez got a 6-year extension for $115 million. I mean, good extension overall.
Steal.
It's good for the Astros.
Yordan is much more than a 16 per year player.
Right.
And they're paying him
the positional value of a DH, but he just hits.
Like, he's so good. His career OPS is in the 900s.
Yeah.
That is almost Mike Trout level.
3-4 years?
He came up in 2018.
2019 was his rookie year.
Or 2019.
Yeah, 2019 full time. So he's been around for like 4 seasons now.
He's just so good.
Man just flat out hits. But that's the other thing. Like, he's a DH. It's like, how much are you going to pay a DH? And I believe this was the biggest contract doled out for a DH. For a guy who exclusively is just a designated hitter.
I mean,
he plays a little bit in the field here and there.
He could play first base.
He plays in the field.
He just chooses not to.
But he that man's a DH. Yordan Alvarez is a designated hitter. But I think that'll even reset or like set this like market value for these like for DH type hitters, like guys that are like they could play a first, they could play a left, but like you look at Yordan Alvarez and you're like, that's a DH. You're not a first baseman.
Also, let's talk about the Astros letting Correa walk and then getting a better player.
And Pena
to replace Pena. I think is better than Correa right now.
He is. I don't think overall Correa, it's going to even out. Correa's going to pass him, but as of right now, Pena's better. The question is, Farhan running the Astros too? Because like another one of those under the radar guys.
Pena's just going to get better though.
Probably.
Yeah.
Correa, I think, is peaked.
Do you really think he's peaked? Like,
I don't think
he's in his peak currently.
Okay.
Yeah, he's currently playing through his peak.
Like he's not like it just goes. It's a extended prime.
Yeah, he's in his prime. But like, I mean, you gotta remember when Correa came up, he was also like very, very good. Like the same.
But they're also paying Carlos Pena the league minimum.
Yeah. Well, right. True.
And not $40 million.
Also that. But like Pena, Pena wasn't like some nobody prospect. Like he was like a fairly well touted prospect in the Astros system. But outside of Houston, guys, people didn't really know him all that well. But now they do. He burst on the scene in a big way.
Because you don't pay attention to like prospects behind the premium guys. You know what I
Right,
mean? Like
exactly.
no one knows a Padres shortstop prospect. You know what I mean? Because they have Tatis.
Like who knows who? Like if you're not a Reds fan, do you know who Ailey De La Cruz is?
No.
Exactly.
Who is that?
He's
what like first base prospect?
He's a third base shortstop guy.
You don't have anyone at third short right now that of note, do you? Traded Suarez, and is it Kyle Farmer playing short every day for you guys?
No, he's just not ready yet.
No,
he's just young.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, the Reds. I think they've got a lot of guys. Yeah, I know. Brandon Drury is on my fantasy team because he's been hitting a lot lately.
Like I remember they brought him in to like pinch hit in one of the first games of the season. He hit a missile.
Brandon Drury is a good player. I mean, no offense to the Reds, but they're not a very good team, right? This season.
Hey, we were good in May.
Yeah, you were good in May. That's true. But overall in the season, I think when you have 19 wins in the season,
we have 18.
Okay, so I gave you a little more credit than you needed, but
we're not the worst team in baseball anymore.
Yeah,
that's true. That is true.
We passed the Royals,
especially with the new draft lottery. You don't need to be the worst team in baseball anymore.
Yeah, you just have to be one of the worst.
Yeah, who's like the big 2023 draft guy?
No clue.
Yeah, it's like I know this year we have Drew Jones.
I'm not super big on like drafts until we get to the year.
Yeah,
I know a lot of this year's class, but
like speaking of those Royals, how is Benintendi this good?
Benintendi was always
like
not
a secret
bad.
Andrew Benintendi guy for a little bit, but yeah, he's not this good.
But like he's gonna get.
We'll sell high on him with the deadline.
Yeah, I feel like this feels like a very Alex Anthopoulos move.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, Benintendi was never bad.
What worries me is the Royals never sold high on Whit Merrifield, so I'm kind of hesitant to see if they're going to sell high on Benintendi.
They'll sell on Benintendi for sure.
I feel like Whit Merrifield's
got
just
a few years of control.
Yeah, Whit Merrifield's 33. He's never going to hit the open market.
Oh, does he? Does he really?
He's 33 years old.
Yeah,
and he will not hit free agency until he's 35.
That's the wrong name. I accidentally looked up Rondell White.
A freaking Rondale White carried a couple of OOTP sims for me.
Whit Merrifield's 33. How did I
He's
not know
older
this?
than you think.
Yeah. He
It's like
debuted
how
at
Judge
27.
and Trout are the same age.
26.
DeGrom and Kershaw are the same age.
Yeah, it's one of those. But yeah, I mean, there was really no big reason to sell on Merrifield. I think he signed through 2023 on a very reasonable deal, and he's been like fine for him. I don't know. It made sense not to sell on him when I was talking to Rudy. Like Rudy will talk about it as a Royals fan. He was like, it never made sense to sell to get rid of him. So I'm like, okay, I'll take your word for it. You're the Royals.
It's like
fan.
you don't sell the franchise guy. Even though Whit Merrifield's not a franchise guy, he may as well have been for a couple of years.
Yeah, from the post contention teams, like it was just Whit Merrifield.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's just Whit Merrifield just hanging out. Like, why would you trade him?
Just doing things.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Like, they wouldn't even save money if they traded him.
No, exactly. Like, there's no reason for them to really trade him, so they never did.
And like, who's taking a 32-year-old contact hitter in this day and age and giving up a massive prospect haul?
Fair.
I don't know. It could be like a far-on find, but
that's not a far-on find at that point. That's just Whit Merrifield.
No, because if you give up like a big prospect, it's not an under-the-radar type move.
It's a Dombrowski deal.
There you go.
There you go.
Whit
Merrifield
is much more of a Dombrowski deal than a Farhan find.
No, absolutely. But like, if they would have traded him at like the peak of his value, that's a real slap in the face to the fan base. I'd say.
I mean, it's like we already got you your ring.
No, they didn't. He wasn't on that team.
The fan base.
Yeah, you have your ring.
the
Be
fan
happy. Watch the DVD
Exactly.
over and over and over again.
Wow,
You
Alex
got a
Gordon
ring,
should
like-
have rounded third, but we won it. But we still. Sorry. Alex Gordon
And
should have
he-
rounded
if Alex-
third.
He would have been out by a mile, like if he rounded.
No, I think he would have made it. I was
Crawford
praying
had the
for
ball.
him to make it.
I mean, it was the right call in a regular season game. But like,
right
come
call,
on, you're facing peak Madison Bumgarner.
Dude, you know how much I was screaming at my TV for him to go? I'm like, go.
Go.
I wasn't
Please.
I wasn't really big into baseball at age 8, so I didn't watch the game, but I did watch the secret base rewind of it. So
Yeah, it's man. Every now and then I'll go back and watch just the Bumgarner innings pitched, and I'm like, because I remember standing in my living room, just watching the game, and I was like, okay,
I mean,
like just super
to be
nervous
fair,
about it.
no one ever thought Randy Rosarena was going to make it home in Game 4 of 2020.
That I mean, for good reason.
Shut up! You won that World
play-
Series.
Oh my! I know,
Yeah.
but that was just painful to watch. Because
saying,
like
I
we
was-
got a whole party together. Like we didn't do anything in 2020 with people. We got a party together. We watched it together, and we were just stunned for like a minute. We didn't say anything to anybody.
Someone tweeted, "Congratulations, you just watched an ESPN Instant Classic."
But that's what it was. Like it
Like,
was,
that was-
a great game.
Like in 30 years, people are going to watch Game 4 of the 2020 World Series.
No,
It
absolutely.
was a great game. You know
And
what I mean?
it was a fitting end to that game. Like having an insane ending like that. Like
Because, that was in the peak of some MF named Randy.
Yeah.
yeah.
Now
exactly.
he's just good, so it's not funny that he's good anymore.
I mean, he's fine now. He's kind of like
He's
slept pretty hard,
good.
too.
Yeah, but you can't live up to the some MF named Randy days. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
no,
Yeah.
that was insane. But yeah,
I remember
yeah,
on the
he-
Rays website they changed the merch to some guy named Randy.
yeah, which is still pretty good, but
Yeah.
it's
feel like
good.
the-
Some guy named Randy.
And then like he's like a OPS plus 120 guy now.
Yeah.
Like who cares?
Yeah, and which is fine. Like he's good. But,
Like wow, he's serviceable.
Yeah, exactly. He's going to be a pretty decent player for a while, but he's never going to be some guy named Randy again.
Or-
Like, that's just
I could also see him playing until he's like 40
yeah, absolutely. I
and
can see
just
that.
be baseball's token old man for a couple of years.
I'd love that.
Yeah, he's got
He'd
the
be a cool
pedigree.
guy.
I could see him like in that kind of leadership role you have.
He'll
The young guys
recount the
always
guys
look
that
up to him.
weren't born with stories of his amazing World Series run.
Honestly, no, like that his World Series run is something that's like, yeah, I watched Randy Arozarena in like that postseason just go absolutely ballistic. Like
That's
There
like
was always fear for me when I saw him step into the batter's box. I'm like, oh god, not
that's
that.
our
Anybody but him.
generation's Kirk Gibson walk off.
Ooh. Ooh.
I
I would go
don't
that far.
hate the take. I don't hate it. The take there.
I mean, Kirk
But-
Gibson's walk off didn't steal the World Series.
But I think
That's
what it is about the Kirk Gibson walk-off, and granted,
he was
like before we
injured.
won the World Series, like every Sportsnet LA documentary was about the Kirk Gibson walk-off. I know more about
As
this
it should be.
walk-off than my own life at this point. You know what I mean?
He
It was
was
just
fat
so
as a
improbable.
cane as he walked around the bases. But yeah, speaking
I
of the
mean-
Rays, G-Man Choi.
Good.
What? He's good. Who saw that coming?
I mean, he was always. I've always liked Ji-Man Choi. I've always thought he was a very good hitter. Like he had all the like hitting abilities, talent wise. He just kind of never.
He always
really
seemed
pieced it
average
together.
to me.
He's very likable, but like I kind of go back and forth. I'm like, is he or is he not a good player?
He seemed so intensely mediocre for me. It's like, yeah, he's there. He won't kill you. But like,
He's a stopgap.
he's worth putting in someone's starting lineup.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you see those flashes that make you believe, and you just get suckered back into it, and that's how I kind of feel.
Do we have any Angels fans that can tell us that about Taylor Ward?
Probably.
Did anyone see anything in Taylor Ward? I want to know.
I think we do actually have a couple. I mean, we have a lot of Angels fans at Diamond Digest. I think Christian was pretty high on him for a while, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh God, so glad he's not on this podcast right now to rant about Taylor Ward.
No, yeah, he probably will be at some point. But anyway, like we do have a couple more things I did want to cover here.
Baseball, then I care to admit, like I didn't see this coming.
Yeah, that's
always kind of there for me.
Yeah, Taylor Ward was always like, yeah, he seems like he could be okay, and then he's just kind of been crazy good.
I mean, he's never gonna be he's like old.
I don't think he's that old, is he?
Like, I wonder how good Juan Soto is going to be when he's Taylor Ward's age.
Yeah, that's fair.
Juan Soto is going to get $500 million.
He's the Patrick Price.
Well, if they use the Patrick Price, they'll get him for only $450.
I like that. That was good. But yeah, anyway, I've been trying to set up like a segue to this for a while, but I had a couple set up. I just never got to deliver on it. Tommy Pham and Jock Peterson. I tried to set this up. We're talking about Whit Merrifield. When I said slap in the face.
How would you have gotten that? You could have gotten that in the Mike Trout segment.
Well, when I said trading Whit Merrifield during his prime, that would have been a slap in the face to the fan base. That was the perfect setup, and you took it from me.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. But I do want to hit on this. No pun intended. But that's just an insane thing to have happened in anything ever. Like Tommy Pham slapping Jock Peterson.
Twice in 3 months, though.
Yeah.
Of two notable people going. Like two notable people getting slapped by other notable people.
We got to start a support group.
Yeah, it's Jock Peterson and Chris Rock.
I wonder if Jock Peterson and Chris Rock have anything in common.
Probably having lots of money.
I mean,
that might be it.
Has Jock Peterson ever gotten a massive payday? I would imagine Chris Rock has much more money than Jock Peterson.
Probably,
but those two World Series rings, I think, are worth more than the money.
I mean, you don't give away.
They're also both very, very well liked. Like, I feel like not a lot of people dislike Jock Peterson.
Yeah,
he's like I always rooted for his success, and unless he was on the Cubs, like
I always rooted for his failure in the Dodgers, but his success everywhere else.
Dude, even on the Giants, I still kind of find myself. I'm like,
he's the Kyle Schwarber of our time.
I have a picture with Jock Peterson from many, many years ago when I was in high school.
I used to have a signed dinner plate from Billy Hamilton.
I have a signed Jock Peterson baseball somewhere here.
Nice. I had a signed Yasiel Puig baseball somewhere back home.
Yeah, how's he doing in Korea?
From that same game. I think that is in Mexico.
No, I thought he got promoted to Korea.
No, he's in Korea now.
Was he in Mexico?
He was in Mexico, I think, in 2020, 2021.
Oh, gotcha. Someone else.
Oh, wow.
I think
he's not even good in Korea. Okay.
Not shocking.
Yeah.
The weirdest MLB The Show cover athlete. Like,
Puig was a cover athlete?
Yeah.
As someone who lived through like that insane Puig debut, I'm like, he is the greatest thing ever. And then he was just kind of okay after that.
Yeah. It's kind of funny. Just how that happens sometimes. But he was good for a long time. Not a long time. A short time. Yeah. A short time.
He was like that flash in the pan, like he was like the I want to compare him to like Tim Lincecum.
Tim Lincecum was good for like a solid 6 years.
Yeah. I think Aristides Aquino is kind of more apt comparison.
Aristides Aquino.
Yeah.
He was good for a month.
I mean, not Peterson, but
they both had that insane start to their careers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is Aquino still with the Reds? Is he in the majors?
I think we put him in AAA.
That's what I thought.
Although
I never thought he was going to be good.
Although
for a
he
long
was a
time.
really good defensive player.
Yeah, that's right. He had a rocket arm, didn't he?
Yeah, he could like throw 100 from the outfield.
Ooh,
That's
He's
crazy.
like he could. I think he's even going the Anthony Ghost route.
Honestly, no, I mean, the Anthony Ghost story just makes me so happy. Like, I love that story so much.
It's like he's the Rick Ankiel of our time, but reverse Rick Ankiel.
That is like better comparison than the Bob Gibson walk off comparison.
The Kirk Gibson walk off.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, that's what I meant. My bad.
Imagine if Bob Gibson hit a walk off.
I mean, yeah.
the way that season was going, you might as well have just add it to the legend.
He had a 1.12 ERA and hit a walk-off home run.
Legend.
Clayton Kershaw could never.
Pedro, Kershaw, Scherzer.
You know who could? Madison Bumgarner.
You know who could? Mike Leake.
Bumgarner couldn't put up the ERA though.
Probably not. Mike Leake. I have a massive disdain for Mike Leake.
Why?
Just because he was a bad Giant.
I like him.
I liked him everywhere else.
Red. He was a very serviceable Cincinnati Red.
I think. Who did we give up in that trade? I don't remember. I feel like it was someone who ended up being decent. That might have been Castillo.
No, we got Castillo from the Marlins.
Did you?
Luis Castillo, yeah, I believe he was in the
Duvall?
No.
Duvall also.
Luis Castillo trade.
I'm not certain about that. I feel like I'm looking up this Mike Leake one really quick. Just because I need to know.
I swear to God, I mentioned that trade in an article once.
You probably did. Like you're probably more likely correct than I am. Duvall. Yeah, we gave up Duvall in the League trade.
Oh wow, it was we got Castillo for Dan Straley.
What?
Nice.
We also got Eugenio Suarez for Alfredo Simon.
The Astros got Jordan for Josh Fields. I'm still not bitter about that one.
You have
there are a lot of
Mookie
trades.
Betts, and you have Mookie Betts. You have Max Muncy. You have Freddie Freeman.
Max Muncy's not good.
You have Trey Turner.
Max
You have Dustin
Muncy
Turner.
is good.
You have Will Smith. You have Walker Buehler. You have Clayton Kershaw. Therefore, you cannot complain.
I want to bring up Buehler right now. I love Walker Buehler, but no, let's not talk about Walker Buehler.
What did he do?
You know what people do? Like have been
He
tweeting a lot about
yesterday.
Oh yeah,
my transitions. No, but people have complaining a lot about. I'm not letting you get shortchange me on this one. People have been complaining about the Colorado Rockies City Connect uniforms.
Why?
People don't like the green.
I mean, very rarely are the City Connect jerseys good, but I think these are actually one of the good ones.
Here's the thing. The City Connects, they're either really good or awful. This is the first one that's been, in the middle. They're not bad. I don't dislike them, but I don't love them.
What do you mean? I love those.
See, I don't hate them, but I don't love them.
I
think they're in my top 5.
Although I wish they could bring, a purple instead of the white, but...
I wanted more. I want them to lean into the Colorado flag a lot more, because
it's such a good flag.
It just looks so good. It's so good. It's good on its own. I don't think it's as good as it could have been.
I think the hat should have been the Colorado flag.
Yeah,
that would have been the hat. Is the one thing everyone's raving about. They're even if you're not a baseball fan, if you live in Colorado, you're gonna want that hat.
Yeah,
it's going to be how New York has the Yankees hat, Los Angeles has the Dodgers hat. That's going to be Colorado's hat,
right? For a while, that's going to be the Colorado hat.
In Cincinnati, I see so many people with Reds hats.
That would make sense.
It's just such a good hat.
Yeah, it's a good hat. Yeah. I mean, it's funny enough. Lately, my go-to hat's been my Tigers hat. I don't know why, but my Tigers hat's been my go-to lately.
God, I'm wear so concerned for the Red City Connect.
I mean,
what is it going to be? The Skyline chili, or
that would be funny.
No, I think it's going to be a flying pig homage of some sort.
That would be funnier.
because
the thing is,
Porkopolis.
sorry, the City Connects, they're either really good or really bad. I still think no one's going to beat Miami City Connects. I think those are number one by a mile. Like the
Those are really
Marlins
good.
City
I'm
Connects
partial to the
jerseys
South
are
side.
sick.
The
South sides are also
really
good.
I also like
Those are my
Wrigleyville.
third favorite ones. I don't like Wrigleyville very much. I just think they could have been cooler.
I mean, I like
Wrigleyville, I wanted them to do
I
something
like the
with
Miami
Chicago
ones, but
flag.
what does that have to do with Miami?
It's an homage to the old the Sugar Kings, which I believe was a Negro League team in Miami.
Okay, that's good.
The story is really, really good. It's just they also look really cool.
Yeah.
Like they're super cool jerseys.
I mean, just saying, I feel like they could just release those as regular jerseys.
You don't
like a regular.
them? What?
I like them, but like I feel like they could just be a regular alternate, like a few years ago.
Like back when they
that's reasonable.
Like I feel like that feels like on the same vein of like it's like just a really fun alternate jersey.
That's fair. Oh, it's a Cuban AAA team, former Cuban AAA team for the Yankees, which is still like a really cool homage kind of thing. I like them a lot.
I feel like it's a cool homage. But I feel like they could have had made that homage in a regular alternate jersey.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but
I also really like the
so ingrained in like
jerseys
Miami as a city that like it made more sense to do it for the City Connect.
Yeah, I'm not really well versed in Miami culture.
I only am because every election
season
you hear about the Cuban population in Miami. That's the only I know.
I can't
Miami's
vote,
very Cuban heavy.
Yeah,
that's true.
I have like I think it's like I've only really ever spent time in. I've spent time in the Florida Keys, and I didn't really pick up on that. So.
Yeah, but no, there's a very heavy Cuban population in Miami, so it made a ton of sense. And also, Sirvientes, I love those, the D-backs ones. I think they're also incredible.
Those are underrated.
I really want the Tigers one to be Bale related. It's like the Tigers how they covered up the whale with an ad that was on the back. That was like on a building right behind the stadium.
Oh, right.
I thought you said Bale related. So I had pause for a second.
I thought you said Bale for a second too. I was like, what? No, but whale, yes.
Noted minor Star Wars prequels character Bail Organa is going to be the Tiger City Connect.
Yes. All right.
Anyway, no, I think you're going to test Diego. Like, I'm so mad at City Connect weren't good.
Is that everything?
Oh yeah, the Giants. I hate the Giants City Connects. They're awful.
The rivalry extends to who has the worst City Connect jerseys too.
Oh, the Dodgers are easily worse.
They're
easily.
bad.
They're easily the worst ones.
It's just Los Dodgers.
The Giants are fairly close. Like if it would have been Los Dodgers, I would have liked them a lot more.
That's what makes me mad about them too. Is no one calls them Los Dodgers.
Yeah, exactly. Like Los Dodgers, I would have liked them a lot more. Yeah. But no, that's dumb.
God.
But anyway, I think that's all we wanted to hit on. Unless you guys can think of anything else, I think we kind of covered.
There's only so much baseball.
Yeah, I think we hit all the big stuff.
There's only so much baseball, but there's more happening every day, and there'll
Arguably
be more happening this upcoming week. No, never too much. Never too much. But this upcoming week, what are you watching? What to watch for this week? I already mentioned Twins Yankees because that was kind of
you're taking Twins Yankees.
We already
obligatory Dodgers Giants shout out this coming weekend, but I'm going to be looking closely at the Rays and Cardinals in St. Louis, I think, or in Tampa. That's going to be a great series.
I'm going to go a bit different. I want to see if anyone picks up Dallas Keuchel.
That's fair, yeah. Watching the Dallas Keuchel.
Because obviously they're going to let him get released, so they don't have to pay him. But I think it's going to be really interesting to see if anyone takes a chance on him.
I think they will. I think someone will take a chance.
He is literally free for a couple of seasons.
I'm literally. It's either Milwaukee or San Francisco if I had to put money on it.
I don't think Milwaukee needs
Or
him.
Tampa. I'd throw Tampa in there.
Tampa, yeah,
That's
but
fair.
you can always use pitching depth, and that's kind of my line of thinking. If you're getting them basically for free, just another depth
Yeah,
starter.
there's no reason not to.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah,
like he
exactly.
seems. Maybe like the Yankees pick him up as a depth guy.
I hope
I
the
don't think
Yankees
he's-
don't pick him up.
What do you mean?
That glorious beard. That's why.
That's why.
Fair.
That's 100% the reason why.
Did Brian Wilson ever play for the Yankees?
No, but he shaved when he went to the Dodgers, I believe. Or he shaved at some point.
I blocked Brian Wilson out as a Dodger, and then
I always
He's a
thought
bad
he was a
Dodger.
Giant.
Dodger now, Romo.
He was a career Giant, I thought.
No,
No,
he
he
went
had
and played for the Dodgers at the tail end.
He got
Yeah,
a bobblehead for some reason.
What do you mean? He was like actually
I think
legitimately
just 'cause
good
he's a
closer
big
for a
name.
bit.
Yeah, he was a great closer for like 5 years.
Yeah, I also hope Sergio Romo never goes to the Yankees.
He just shaves sometimes just to shave. Like,
Yeah.
just 'cause he
I've never
can.
seen that. I'm not an avid Mariners fan.
I wouldn't look it up. It's like you don't have to. It's not worth
It's
seeing.
disturbing.
I love Sergio Romo too. I mean, it's not super disturbing, but if you haven't seen it, you should probably keep it that way.
Oh, God. Minnesota Twins legend Sergio Romo.
You can say that about any organization, really.
Sergio Romo is one of my favorite Giants.
Sorry. Miami Marlins legend Sergio Romo.
Yeah, he's been in a lot of teams.
Sergio, I'm a Dodgers now. Romo.
Sorry, Oakland A's legend Sergio Romo.
Oh, I'm sorry. Rays legend Sergio Romo.
Yeah, see, this you haven't hit all the teams yet.
All right,
there's like one
Edwin
or two more.
Jackson time.
Anyway, no, we're not doing that. There's a good chance that happens on Sunday night watch party because that happens just about every week, I feel like. Yeah, the other series I want to throw out there just kind of to watch, Mets Padres. That should be a fun series.
Yeah.
Mets are going to
because those
sweep.
are two really good teams. Hopefully.
That's going to be a fun one.
But it should be a good series. Yeah, it should be fun nonetheless.
Good week of baseball coming up.
Good week of baseball coming up, for sure. A lot of good games. A lot should be happening. All right, so just to round out this episode here, we'll throw our little thing at the bottom here, as we do every week. So if you don't know where to find us, how'd you get here? But if you want to continue to find us online, our website is diamond-digest.com, our Twitter, diamond_digest, and our Instagram, diamond.digest. Yes, we are very consistent in the way we are present online. But I believe that'll do it for us this week. Thank you for listening to us to talk about the most random things week in and week out. It's a good episode. It's a lot of fun. I enjoy this a lot. It's good, just all around the map last couple of weeks. We'll be back hopefully next week. We should be back next week. No reason for us not to be. So for Sam, Joseph, and myself, Diego, thank you for joining us. And as always, go baseball.
Go baseball.
Go baseball.
Yep. Have a good week, everyone.